try to relate. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come, let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Yes, come my brother, come my sister, let us build a nation together. We could do it. We have done it in the past. We have pulled together. Yes, we may have our differences, but when it comes to country, we must always put country before party. Country first before party. I want to welcome you to the hub. Again, another opportunity for you and I to converse, to talk, using radio and social media to connect. We have a lot to discuss tonight. So let me start off by giving my good partner a little promo there. That's Junior George. You know, that's my boy. He has a celebrity cruise coming up. You know, he has amazing colors, Monday night mass and so on. He has a number of things organizing for Carnival. It's pretty much an annual thing for him. But this year he has the celebrity cruise coming to Grenada.
Hello, this is Ramjit, wandering the streets of St. George's, Grenada, looking for party.
Psst, hey you.
Huh? Who, me?
Yeah, you. Come here.
What?
You want a party?
Yeah.
All right then, shut up and listen to this.
Anyone lock me and look for you?
Grenada, get ready for the International Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition. Sold out in New York and around the world, and it's back in Grenada, and this year it's so large, so grand, so magnificent. Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise, featuring Brother B.
But wait, that's not all. There's more. Also featuring and performing live, Dave.
Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise, and featuring direct from Trinidad,
Iowa, George.
Time to celebrate. Celebrate.
Plus many more surprises and international guests to be announced.
the largest celebrity cruise ever.
It's the Riders Promotion and Amazing Colors Celebrity Cruise, the sexy edition. Sunday, August 13th, boarding time 10 a.m. sharp aboard the Embassy.
It's the Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition.
Now remember, that's Sunday, August 13th, boarding at 10 a.m. sharp. Tickets available right now at the Amazing Colors Mass Camp or call 473-415-6174 or at celebritycruise.eventbrite.com. Get your tickets now. This one comes to your compliments, Ride Along Live and Clarkscourt Run.
The Celebrity Cruise, the ultimate out-of-body experience.
All right, so folks, remember to pick up your tickets at the mass camp right along. Well, you heard the link there where you can get it, but Amazing Colors and Junior George, he has his mass camp. Well, I think it will be operating from the Carnage, close to the hotspot on the Carnage, close to Osprey, that kind of area there, somewhere around that area. So you will hear more about that. That's where the mass camp will be. So if you need a ticket for the celebrity cruise, you can pick it up there. Iowa George and the others. I mean, it will be a movie on the sea. So please get that as early as possible. All right, good. So at this point, let me play for you again something positive, boy. A number of positive things are happening. Our Prime Minister, our beloved Prime Minister, met with the traffic wardens, right? Only recently, he met with the traffic wardens. He also spoke on crime, what he will be doing to curb the increase of, criminal activity. So I want to feature that first, and then I would feature him meeting with the wardens and other things like that. All right. So let us play that first.
As government and stakeholders seek to address the heightened cases of crime and violence in Grenada, Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell is appealing for Grenadians to foster a culture of understanding, respect and peace. Into the 7th month of the year, the Royal Grenada Police Force has so far recorded 6 suicide cases, 14 homicides and the seizure of 31 firearms, among others. Prime Minister Mitchell said there is need for urgent intervention to reduce these statistics, which requires a whole-of-society approach.
It's absolutely critical that when we look at these situations, that we ensure that we take a preventative approach to the loss of life rather than a reactionary approach. And certainly we accept the Royal Grenada Police Force, which has the responsibility for law and order in our society, will have to do more to ensure that we minimize the risk of further homicides for the year. One other area, and I've spoken about that as Minister of National Security on several occasions already, is the increased interdiction of illegal firearms. Last year, as of this time, 16 illegal firearms were interdicted. As of this year, we are at 31. So to that extent, we certainly wish to commend the Royal Grenada Police Force in ensuring that the interdiction rate has stepped up and that we've been successful in doing so. But it also points to a dangerous trend in our view, which is the proliferation of firearms within our communities. I've indicated that the government's policy on this is that we will take a zero tolerance to firearms. But we also have to appreciate that the firearms are not made in Grenada. They are brought into Grenada. And this is not just a Grenada problem, but a regional problem. This is something that impacts all of us, and we have to ensure that we take a collective approach, that we take a people and community first approach to ensuring it.
Programs and projects with emphasis on mediation and mental wellness will be the focus to prevent a recurrence, especially among the youthful population. Prime Minister outlined government and non-governmental programs that will provide support.
There is the Oasis program, which is an opportunity to advance and support youth for success. That has been implemented in conjunction with the Organization for Eastern Caribbean States and will primarily focus on increasing the diversion of youth, from young persons away from courts and custodial sentences. Young persons who have been identified as being at risk to offend are referred to the probation unit in conjunction with the police authorities. And they are taken into what we describe as the alternative program. That program exposes the young persons to life skills, conflict resolution, anger management, leadership skills, and the ability to discuss the issues that confront them.
He encouraged the Grenadians to be their brother's keeper.
I implore churches and community leaders to continue to play an active role in driving community engagements, providing opportunities for connection, understanding, and healing through after-school programs and activities. As a government, And in partnership with local NGOs, we have several initiatives in place to assist citizens who may need additional support. The Psychosocial Support Unit in the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs is one such initiative. We intend to strengthen community policing and engagement, but we are interested in getting to the root issues that have been manifested in violence within our communities.
Right, so that was the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, and you know he's the minister responsible for national security. So he's on the ball, the Royal Grenada Police Force, and we, the people, must play our part in helping to bring down the whole crime rate and all those criminal activities that are on the up here in Grenada. Right? So we have to work together, take a all people's approach to solving the crimes and preventing it from happening, because many a times we could prevent things from happening. We see certain things, we can intervene earlier. So again, I want to commend our beloved Prime Minister for being on the ball where crime fighting and whole preventative measures, putting those things in place. I think that's a really good move, and we must applaud him for that. All right, let us now move to so before I play the warden, well, let me go with the warden first. All right, he met with the traffic wardens. Let me just feature that. And then the whole site visit by the management of the different ministries and so on. I think the government is really trying hard to get everybody on board with the transformation agenda so we can see the fruits of the labor as we move along.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell has outlined his vision for the Grenada Transport Commission during a meeting with members of the Board of Directors and the traffic wardens on Thursday. Part of it includes designating specific tasks to wardens so that the police can focus more on other areas. Prime Minister Mitchell was joined at the meeting by Chairman of the Board, Mr. Francis Paul, Deputy Chairman of the Grenada Transport Commission Board, Jasmine Alexander, and the Royal Grenada Police Force representative, Inspector Ryan Smith.
I've been publicly indicating that there are lots of things that the police do, which to my mind needs to be transferred to civilians. Now when I say civilians, I include the traffic wardens. The licensing and inspection of vehicles, for example. There's no reason for the police to be involved in that. The police is already stretched and undermanned in many of the policing areas. And so from a vision perspective, there are a number of areas. Licensing and inspection of vehicles, the passport office, immigration services, many of these things, the vision is to move these things into civilian hands so that the police can do proper policing rather than work that is better suited for civilians.
He said the meeting is important as it gives the wardens an opportunity to be vocal about their views, challenges and ideas.
The task is that of mine as Minister, the Permanent Secretary of the Transport Commission Board, to make sure that we address the challenges that you face. And so one of the reasons for having this meeting is to hear from you, unfiltered, about what have been some of your experiences, what are some of the issues you think needs to be addressed, and importantly as well, what are some of your ideas and thoughts and recommendations and suggestions for addressing some of these.
Chairman of the Grenada Transport Commission, Francis Paul, reminded the wardens that their role helps fortify the efforts of the RGPF's traffic department.
I want all the traffic wardens to understand that you are a very important cog in the wheel of ensuring that the transportation system in Grenada is run efficiently. Your role is to augment the traffic department of the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Right. So again, you heard it there from our beloved Prime Minister. And again, look, that's vision, because we have been saying that for quite a while. The police is doing too much of work that it should not be doing. In other words, he spoke about the whole inspection of vehicles and that kind of stuff. That should be in civilian hands. Even on the port, the port should have their own security instead of having the police there, and that shouldn't be. Should have their own security on the port. Even the whole mechanic aspect of the force, that should be separate and apart, right? Police canteen and all this kind of stuff, that should be in the hands of civilians. All of these things, the whole traffic arrangements and so on, that should be in the hands of civilians, meaning traffic wardens properly trained, not just in terms of academics, but behavior, how they treat with the public, how they engage the public, how they engage people. Because in recent times, we have seen attitudinal problems, behavioral problems and issues that is very obvious. So that must be addressed. That has to be addressed. How you approach a person who is driving a vehicle, right? How do you speak to them? How do you relate to them? Not because a person might be doing something that you believe is wrong, it means that you need to go and lecture the person or disrespect the person. You have to train them properly, because you see, power is something that one has to understand. If you don't put it in the right hands, it could be very dangerous, a tool. So again, it is something that needs to happen, where they are trained to deal with people, interpersonal skills. How do you deal? How do you relate? Because for example, I know of a situation where you have there was one traffic warden. It's a short guy who was a traffic warden, and they moved him from being a traffic warden to a RC, as the blue police, the blue stripe police, right? They're more reservist. They're not really an actual red stripe police, right? They should be reserved, quote unquote. You call them when you need them, but they're more or less working full time. So they transfer this short guy to the RC within the police, and he was not properly trained to be a police officer, and how he deals with people, it is really terrible. There was a situation, for example, where a number of people were at junction, for example, at 3 o'clock, 3 a.m., right? And I don't even have to tell you the names of the people who were there. I mean, responsible people, right? There were two individuals who were actually tired, so they were sleeping in their vehicles. And this individual just came and he started clamping these vehicles, just clamping the vehicles, not even, saying a word, right? To say, well, look, tell me what's going down, you see? Why are you here? That kind of stuff. So I'm saying that it's how you deal with people. And sometimes he's a security at junction, and he believes that he's a RC at junction, but he's a security, paid as a security officer, and he wants to flex his muscle because he was not properly trained to be police. So again, there's a need for that, because this guy could cost the police force a lot of money, the way he's dealing with people, right? Because this guy could have, he and the other officer, whoever, could have easily, there wasn't plenty people there on Friday or so, easily say, look, as they normally would. The old time days, the police would go to the establishment and say, the 5 vehicles on this side, even if they were not obstructing traffic, can you just move on the other side? Something like that. And you go clamp as though you come out in a rage. And you have people in the vehicle and you're clamping the vehicle. You don't know why they're arresting or why they're there. Because if a person is under the influence of alcohol, for example, they might prefer to take a rest than drive and meet in an accident or something. So again, it requires how you deal with situation, how you interact, how you connect. But this particular police, this blue stripe police, he will cost the Royal Grenada Police Force a lot of money. They need to rein him in. He lacks the training. He lacks the skill set to deal with people. He's like a bully. I'm telling you, he's like a bully, disrespectful. I don't know where he got that kind of authority from, but he will cost the Royal Grenada Police Force a lot of money. So there are some nice police officers who you can interact with, who will speak to you, right? Because if you check carefully, the police officers who have always been very quick to charge busmen or charge people or arrest or drag you before the court and so on, they don't get stripes. They don't. They remain a private constable or RC until they reach 60. Or if they get a corporal, maybe by some political means, they climb some back of some politician and they get a corporal. But other than that, they don't go further than that. They get stuck there. When you're aggressive, you have to be able to communicate, speak to people, interact, get to know certain things. Because sometimes you assume you know, right? You're the first judge and you have to use your discretion. Many times they don't. Some of them, they don't use their discretion. They just go because they're the law. And mind you, when they're committed wrong, if you pull them up on it, they become very arrogant. And you know, there's this vexation that would come upon them. So I am saying there's a need to be able to communicate with people, deal with people, because check it out carefully. The police officers who are often aggressive, quick to charge people, quick to clamp vehicle, quick to this, quick to butt in and arrest, charge and all kind of stupidness, they tend not to go up in rank within the Royal Grenada Police Force. Just check it out. Those who are like counselors, those who are like good communicators and talking to you and explaining to you what you did and what you didn't do and what you should do and so on. In other words, engaging you. These are the people who go up in ranks. They're the ones, right? So again, I'm saying it's a good thing that our Prime Minister is engaging the traffic wardens and engaging the police generally, but there is a need for a lot of training. The training in customer service, how to deal with people, people to people, that whole attribute, that skill that you need to have. You need to be able to train them again, go back, give them constant training how to deal with people, not because you have the law and a person might be wrong. It means that you have to lecture the person or disrespect the person. I saw with my own eyes a police came to charge a person, charge the man, or engage the person in a very respectable way. Sir, you are not wearing your seatbelt. It is a violation of this law or that law, and I could charge you or I will issue you a ticket. But then you go and you start to lecture him and speak as though you're his father. Papa come to discipline me and talk down. You don't need to do that. There's no need to do that. Then you then juking the individual for a reaction on a different front. So there is a need to train the police officers, train the traffic wardens, give them some more training, right? There's a need for that. I'm telling you. Today, for example, I was crossing over, to the bus terminus, and there's a traffic warden, a good partner, there, and rain falling. So you have the pedestrians in the rain falling, and then he's calling the traffic and saying to the people, well, wait a bit now, right? Have some patience. Patience in the rain? You're joking. So then people start walking across because you have people in their vehicle, they're sheltering, right? They're sheltering. So you should stop them and allow the people to cross, because you have 10, 15 people stand up waiting to cross. So sometimes you have to use your discretion. So to tell a person, well, wait or hold on. You can't hold on in the rain when rain falling and wetting people. So again, discretion is required. And these are things that I observe as you go around. You observe these things. But police officers who speak to people in a respectful way, engage people, guide them, tell them certain things as to what they're doing wrong or not, they're the ones who tend to go up in rank. who tend to get promotion because they have a higher IQ. They're more intelligent. They're smarter. They are not about being, heavy-handed or disrespectful. If you come to charge a person, you should not go lecturing them as though you're the father. You're joking. You're joking because a person could easily pay $100 or $120 or $25 or $150 or whatever, right? You don't go and just lecture people and this. You never know if that person had a bad day. So you have to know how to engage people. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing today? Did you realize that you pass a red light, or did you realize that I had my hand up stopping you? Things like that. I saw again a situation where you have a police way up at the top of the hill. It's almost dark. Well, now they start to use this red thing calling the traffic, which is great. Almost dark. So, it's not totally night yet, but the vehicle drove to the top of the hill, almost to the top of the hill, And then the police will say, well, I didn't call you, go back down. And then a whole mess with the traffic. All you need to do is to say, well, I had my hand up. Did you see it? The person might say no. And then because the traffic behind the police is clear, just allow the vehicle to go and you avoid all that unnecessary, drama. So sometimes you have to use your discretion. It's not always because this is what the law says, so you go that way. Because normally, if they take you to task and you go into court, you lose many a times. So I'm simply saying it is not what you do, how you do what you do, and also with the advent of technology, when you do what you do, timing is crucial, very important. So I'm really happy, really, really, really happy to see what's happening and what is going down. But there is a need for more engagement, more training of police officers to deal with the public, interpersonal skills. How do you approach? How do you talk to people? How do you engage them? Right? That could calm things down, could diffuse all the tension and so on. So I'm really happy that the Prime Minister is engaging the wardens, and hope that he can engage further the police, because I know he did that in the past. Because look, there is a need for more training, and the police officers, the majority of them, they are young, and young really in age, but you could be young and still be mature in how you deal with things, how you deal with situations. That is important. I can remember COVID when I went to the police station to visit a friend, and there was this police officer from Shantimel, and I remember him clearly. He's an NNP activist, and a known NNP activist. He was a sergeant at the time, but he never got any promotion, so he's the same sergeant. He got promotion under the NNP, right? But not based on merit, in my belief. And he was very arrogant. I asked to see the officer in charge, and he started getting on and ranting and raving as though he's paying himself, as though taxpayers' money was not paying for him. Very disrespectful. He's a NNP police, and that is what I started calling him. And amazingly, I saw him recently, and he was so ashamed because NNP lost the election, and he couldn't face me, he couldn't watch me. You see, sometimes when you let down your guards, where you're not professional, you become foolish in the medium to long term, right? You have to be professional always and respectful, and don't try to treat people differently because your party decides. No. Because once a police and twice a civilian, you have to come back to be a civilian. Yeah. So you're a civilian, then you go into police. Then when you retire or they kick you out, you're coming back as a civilian. Always remember that, right? And you have to come back and engage people. So again, it is important. It's not what you do, but how you do what you do and when you do what you do. A word to the wise. So I'm really happy to see that our Prime Minister is engaging the wardens in particular. There's a need for a lot of work where that is concerned. A lot of work. There's some good wardens who are respectful, who, because look, in this little business, there can be malice. In other words, you dislike a person and you decide, well, you go spite the person because you have a job that can actually aid or abet that. And I've seen it. You have a gripe, a grudge, some kind of problem with that person, and you decide you're going to use the law to take advantage of the person. And that is something that we need to try our utmost to avoid. That is something that we need to try to avoid. And you've seen it from time to time. Because, the wardens in particular, they tend to have little issues from time to time. All right? So we just hope that as we move along, things would improve for Grenada. And I'm only sharing some of my personal experiences. Some really good wardens, good wardens who are working hard. But boy, you have some again. You don't want to be around them. You don't want to be around them. All right? They could be very, very obnoxious and very, disrespectful, some of them. All right? And sometimes you have to forget the politics. Forget your politics. You might support a party, that's your business. But when you go out to work, be professional because you never know who you're going to encounter. You never know who you're going to encounter. Always remember that. Because I remember some years ago, there was a magistrate who was coming down from the western side, end up in Grand Roy, and there was this police who stopped the magistrate because the magistrate didn't have a seatbelt on, right? But not because the magistrate didn't have a seatbelt on, you need to go and disrespect the person. So the police officer didn't know who that person was. And the police officer was kind of close by, and that individual went up to the magistrate, although he didn't know he's a magistrate, and started talking down and disrespecting the person. You don't know. You have to wear a seatbelt and start to get on and start to go down on. And then the magistrate turned around and said, I didn't have to tell you that I'm a magistrate, but I want you to know that your approach is bad. So it's not what you do, it's how you do what you do. Your approach is bad. What you need to do is to say good morning, good afternoon. My name is X, Y, and Z or whatever. I'm Officer X, Y, and Z. Did you realize that you were not wearing a seatbelt? Or I noticed you were not wearing a seatbelt? Why you're not wearing a seatbelt? Because sometimes the person has a doctor certificate saying, well, look, they have some complication. For example, if a person took a surgery, right? Maybe the abdomen, maybe the, whatever, the chest, whatever. They took a surgery. Maybe they might have a certificate saying that they can't wear seatbelt for 6 months. Right? Maybe. You never know. So your approach is something that you need to check on. It's not just being hash and just going because you're working with the letter of the law. Sometimes that fails you. Sometimes that would fail you miserably. So again, there's a need for a lot of training of the police officers, particularly those young ones, because remember, they go to parties just like anybody else, right? They drive vehicles, they drive bus just like anybody else. They're mixed. They're not like the others of old, where they kind of more reserved and so on. They mix, they mingle, just like normal. They go all in the different places, just like anybody else, right? So they can encounter situations. So it's something that needs to be worked on as we move along. But folks, let me play here another piece of the senior public servants visiting project sites.
Senior government officials now have a better appreciation for projects and programs aligned with the priority focus areas of the Deacon Mitchell administration following a tour of some of these sites during the week. It was a senior management board meeting with a difference, as it removed the permanent secretaries and other senior management officers from the usual enclosed space and brought them outdoors. The group visited the General Hospital and Phase 2 of the facility, Westerhall Secondary School and St. David's RC, Simone Cultural Center and the Grenville Bus Terminus, the Maribor Propagation Station. Secretary to the Cabinet, Ms. Cavell Lett, told GIS the tour will help senior officials make more informed decisions in relation to projects and programs.
It allows board members to observe the different agencies, projects and programs and to provide feedback for their work. And it helps us to understand the links between the government's priorities and the work of the ministry on a national development, or the whole of government perspective. We discussed the impact and the results of the program. And so to do this, we decided we're going to go around the island. We're going to look at each project. It gave us a mental break in terms of we are now feeling a little better, and they are now appreciative of all the government projects that we actually got a chance to look at. And so at the end of the day, we are able to now make better decisions because we are informed.
She said the tour fulfilled the objectives based on the feedback from officials and members of the public.
It was something different. It was welcome division. As a matter of fact, the majority of the PSs were happy that they were able to, just see in actuality what is happening, seeing that the work is being done. And so they have a better perspective. We went by the bus terminus as well in Grenville, where we proposed to do a green space. So it's not just about what happens and what we have to make decision on, but also how it will impact the public. And whilst we were there, people keep saying, oh, we need this and we need that. We need a bench. And we're so happy to see you. I remember one PS saying this is the first time that something like that happened, and that they're able to now go out and interact and see in action what is actually happening.
Yeah, so that's a big thing. It's a good thing, if you ask me, because they're able to go on the site firsthand and experience and see, and they're going as a group. I really, really love that, and I think they need to do more of that, because some PSAs, they're just in a ministry, right? In the ministry. And remember, most of those PSAs, they have been appointed under the NNP administration. Some of them, they are professional, they are performing professionally and getting the job done. But you have some of them who don't care. They're going to just drag, if they have to delay a lot of stuff. And we got to be straight up. There are a lot of them who keeping stuff back. So it's a good thing when you can get them out of the work, the normal work environment in the office, and bring them out to see in the field what's going down. It's a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. And we hope they can pull their hands and do what they're supposed to do. A lot of them, they could be the real problem in implementing projects and getting stuff done with any particular time, with any particular framework. So the NDC, they're trying, the NDC administration, the most honorable Deacon Mitchell, and here you had the CABSEC. I mean, look, they're trying really, really hard with the senior management of the ministry, because normally they would have sessions, regular sessions, to train them and help them and to really fall in line. Boy, under the NNP, that was not happening. That's the first time they were able to go together and go out in the field and so on, and do that kind of field visit and see firsthand what's going down. The PSs, first time, senior management. The NNP has been in power for what? 20-something years. They never did that. They don't have the vision to do that. No, they don't. So here you have it. And all the training of directors for the different boards, the training of directors for statutory bodies and so on. And also the PSAs and senior management. They meet regularly to work things out and to get a better understanding, better appreciation of what's going down within the different ministries and so on. So I just hope that they can work towards the transformation agenda and not pull on one end to sabotage or undermine the government. Because a lot of them, they were appointed by the NNP and they're NNP as supporters, right? That's where their loyalty lies. A lot of those PSs, they're NNP, hardcore NNP supporters. And you can't run away from that reality, because they were promoted under the NNP and they believe that they have to be loyal to a party and not government. Government comes, government goes. You have to be loyal to the government of Grenada and the people of Grenada. You have to do your work professionally. There are some who could fit in and do their work professionally. But some, again, and from time to time, they need to shuffle the pack and move some of them around the place That is the only way we can get things done. Very important, indeed. Right? So let me again play a little promote it for my good partner, Junior. All right, let me just play that again. I'll come right back.
Hello, this is Ramjit, wandering the streets of St. George's, Grenada, looking for party.
Psst. Hey, you.
Huh? Who, me?
Yeah, you. Come here.
What?
You want a party?
Yeah.
All right then. Shut up and listen to this one.
Anyone long me a look for you?
Grenada, get ready for the International Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition. Sold out in New York and around the world. And it's back in Grenada. And this year it's so large, so grand, so magnificent. Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise featuring Brother B.
But wait. That's not all. There's more. Also featuring and performing live, Dave.
Get ready for the International Celebrity Day Cruise and featuring direct from Trinidad,
Iowa, George.
Time to Shelly play. Shelly play.
Plus many more surprises and international guests to be announced.
the largest celebrity cruise ever.
It's the Riders Promotion and Amazing Colors Celebrity Cruise, the sexy edition. Sunday, August 13th, boarding time 10 a.m. sharp aboard the Embassy.
It's the Celebrity Cruise Grenada Carnival Edition.
Now remember, that's Sunday, August 13th, boarding at 10 a.m. sharp. Tickets available right now at the Amazing Colors Mass Camp or call 473-415-6174 or at celebritycruise.eventbrite.com. Get your tickets now. This one comes to your compliments right along live and Clark's Court Run.
The Celebrity Cruise, the ultimate out-of-body experience.
Right, so folks, support that cruise. My good friend Junior George, he's the one organizing that. He's really a good partner in the media and so on, and I can call on him anytime. He's a good gentleman, and I want you to support that cruise. I want to urge you, buy your tickets early, and it's the 13th. That's the day before the real thing, right? That's Sunday. That's, the 14th and the 15th is Carnival, Monday and Tuesday. So the 13th, remember that. So I was telling you about some of the directors who, again, got some training. Let me at this point share that with you because I think it's important. This government is really working hard. Really working hard to get everybody on one page, on one level. I applaud the government. It's not easy. It's not easy. I tell you this. There are some people who are pulling this side, pulling that side. It's not easy, but boy, the government working hard. And I just hope that Grenadians can stand with the government. Because when you see the government working so hard to get things done and get everybody up to mark. And
senior government officials now have a better...
Not this one. I want to showcase the directors. Some directors who were recently trained. Let me try to get that for you. Sorry for that. That's not that one. I'm not looking for that one. All right, nice. Let me play this one.
The second cohort of directors from statutory bodies and state-owned enterprises who received training through the Education and Accreditation program were on Monday, 17th July, presented with their certificates as newly minted accredited directors in Grenada. Accredited Director Richard Duncan applauded the directors for their participation in what he says is a training that will help them to improve on the effective execution of duties as directors.
It is never easy for us as adult learners to undertake these types of training. Sometimes it is easy. In fact, the easiest type of training to attend is those where there is no assessment in the end. Psychologically and emotionally as adult learners. We agree to that? Yes. And I would tell you that there are directors whose reluctance to attend, to me, is on that premise alone. That fear of failure. Now, I say that in the context of how we were brought up, right? Where we do not like to fail. And because of not liking to fail and fearing to fail, we often do not realize our true and full potential. In some cultures, failure is applauded because what happens is that the society knows for sure, and that individual also knows, that he has one down, meaning that he will not do what he did that caused him to fail. He'll do something different. If you never try, you'll never know where your weaknesses are. I think the second point I want to make is that we succeed through collaboration. By bringing the directors together, we were able to compare notes across statutory bodies, across experiences, and there are those of us who have served for years and have never been exposed to the body of knowledge that is required to be a true and proper director. So we've basically been operating blind for a long time.
Faculty member of DEEP and past president of Corporate Governance Institute Canada, Janice Revan, told the directors that she was extremely happy to have shared in the process.
We talk about making good decisions. We never really make a decision all on our own. We've usually asked for guidance, like we asked for prayer tonight. And that's what happens in organizations. It's always around a group. And I've chosen as my theme for the past few weeks in my thoughts and some of my writings, an old proverb that I stumbled across, and that's that with one finger, no matter how strong your finger is, you cannot pick up a pebble. You need collaborations. You need teamwork. And going forward with your accreditation, you're only on the pathway of a learning journey. I've been in governance, I think, since I was born, and today I was with a group like yourself, and I honestly feel like I learned more than I gave. So enjoy your journey, being board members for the organizations that you're with, the public bodies that you're representing as agents of the government today, and in your future on other boards. It's a learning process, and if you keep in mind that you're only going to win if you're part of the winning team, be collaborative, be respectful, enjoy what you can learn from your colleagues, and I'm so proud of you.
General Manager of the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange, Trevor Blake, says the program is of significant importance and developing well-rounded directors since its rollout in June of 2007.
I must commend the government of Grenada for its initiative in ensuring that directors of the various public sector institutions are fully equipped for the important roles they play in the governance of state-owned enterprises. Not only did the government declare that governance training was a requirement for membership of boards, but it also went further, arranging to bring the DEEP here in Grenada for the exclusive benefit of the directors of state-owned enterprises. And here I must pause again to recognize the instrumentality of Mr. Richard Duncan, who led the charge and has been our close collaborator, local facilitator for all of this. Without him, none of this would have been possible.
During his presentation of the keynote address, Finance Minister Honorable Dennis Cornwall said as an accredited director for the past 6 years, having done the program in Barbados, he is very pleased to see directors embrace the opportunity to be certified.
The government is committed to the reform of our statutory bodies and state-owned enterprise to ensure that they deliver the mandate in a professional, efficient and effective manner. Critical to the success of these bodies is ensuring that they are properly governed, including by having in place fit-for-purpose board of directors. It is no secret that what we inherited is a situation where many of our current directors who serve on boards of statutory bodies and state-owned enterprise have not been given the requisite training nor are fully aware of their fiduciary duties and other responsibilities. This approach to governance of statutory bodies and state-owned enterprise should not be allowed to perpetuate. We are committed to doing things differently in this regard. And you are the pioneers of this change. Now that you are trained and certified, you need to lead from the front in improving the overall performance of the bodies on which you serve.
Government, he says, will continue to do its part and stressed the importance of critical areas that directors need to provide oversight.
Your fiduciary duties and responsibility. And under this, I want to look at honesty and good faith. Act honestly in good faith with a view towards the best interests of their respective enterprises. The Enterprise Code of Business Conduct and Ethics provide detailed requirements to help directors understand how to manage any conflict of interest. Duty of care. Directors are required to exercise a high degree of care, diligence, and skill that a reasonable, prudent person would exercise in similar circumstances. 2, standard of behavior must be established by the board. The board must establish the following key standards of behavior for directors. A, general. As a member of the board, each director will, 1, demonstrate a solid understanding of the role, responsibilities, and legal duties of a director and the governance structure of the enterprise as outlined in the legislation, regulations, and its policy.
Right, so that was the Honorable Dennis Cornwall there. Great, wonderful training those directors. That's important, very important. Under the NNP, that never occurred. Never. That never happened. The NDC is doing it differently by training the directors so that they can perform better, so that they can, at least get more productivity for that entity that they represent. And I really, really love that. So if you want tickets for the Celebrity Cruise, you can go on Ride by the same link, the same website, right? That the tickets for my event, that's where you find the tickets of my event. Same, Ride by RYDEBUY.com or celebritycruise.eve, that's EVENBRITE.com. So you can go there and check it out. All right. So again, please support that particular event. And folks, don't forget my event. All right. I always leave it for last. Don't forget my event. That is on Thursday, the 3rd of August. Thursday, the 3rd of August, Wildwoods Park. That's close to BBC Beach, close to Fantasia Beach, starting at 4 o'clock, going on till 10 or a little beyond that. So live band music, Solid the band, the best band in Grenada. The DJ Selector Beast, the best DJ in Grenada. Local foods, I list them over and over for you. The real food there would be the oil dung. And then, the other things will follow. But plenty local foods and drinks. It's all inclusive. The price, 300 EC, 110 US, or 150 Canadian. So I want to urge you to buy the tickets. Go on ridebuy.com, RYDEBUY.com, and buy the tickets. So far, we have had about 51 tickets sold online. We need to see far more than that being sold online. So if you out there and you're not able to come to the event, still buy a ticket and sponsor. So sponsor a couple tickets. Buy a ticket or two. All right. So like my good partner, John Fleming, he said to me this morning on this morning's program, well, you're going to buy 2 tickets. And he reached out to me today. Say, hey, Kem Jones boy, somebody go check you to get 2 tickets, right? Say he won't be able to come, but he would like to sponsor 2 tickets. So I want to encourage you. If you're out there, you may not be able to come, or you just can't make it. Just reach out, buy 2 tickets. Like my good friend Leslie, right? Reached out to me today. Say, Kem Jones boy, hold 3 tickets for me. So you might be able to come, and in some instances you're not able to come. So if you're not able to come, buy a ticket or 2. Go on Ride RYDEBUY.com. You look for my flyer, Kem Jones. That's easy to find. And buy a ticket. Buy that ticket. Send me a message. Say, hey, Kem boy, just buy a ticket. I won't be able to come, but a sponsoring, supporting, because I want you to have your radio station. I want you to have a new radio station, or not new, but a radio station. Of course, it will be new, but a radio station instead of just this home studio. You have to move to the next level. You have to expand. You have to build, next level. So again, I look forward to that. I want to thank those who already purchased tickets, those who indicated, who said to me, Kem, just hold 2 tickets for them, hold 1 for them, hold it for them, they will pay. Please try to honor that commitment between now and at least Friday or at least Saturday. If you tell me to keep a ticket or 2 for you, try to pay it up. Pay for it, honor that commitment, because we need that before. Because I'm going to follow up with you to make sure that you fulfill that pledge, that commitment. All right? So please, I want to urge you, support. Buy a ticket or 2. We need you to buy a ticket or 2. Between now and, because Thursday next week, that's when the event will be. Thursday next week. So after this week, then you have about a couple of days before the event. So I want to urge you to buy a couple tickets. All right? Buy a couple tickets. All right, my good friend says send you the flyer. All right, so yeah, man. Flyer, send me a message and I'll send you the flyer. I have the flyer there. Yeah. Buy a couple tickets because I'm only advertising or promoting this on this platform. All right, on this platform only. So when you go on Ride Buy, that's RYDEBUY.com, you're gonna see this flyer. Kem Jones Appreciation Carnival Edition. All the information here. So again, it's ridebuy.com. RYDEBUY.com. That's where you're going online. And with your credit card, your debit card, within no time, you can buy the ticket. If you don't want to go that route, you can send the money via MoneyGram or Western Union. Easy. Reach out to me. Send me a WhatsApp on 1473 415 4817. 1473 415 4817. That's the number under here. See the number scrolling here? 1473 415 4817. And I can give you the name to send the money on, MoneyGram or Western Union. Right? It does make a difference for the this event. I really want it to be successful. That's why I'm talking about it so much. I really want it to be successful. And if you love what I do and you understand the need to expand, the need not to remain stagnant, buy a ticket or 2. Support. Buy a couple tickets. Right? It will go a long way in me getting that radio station. That's just the first event. We have 9 more events after that one. But this one must start off with a bang. It must be successful. So I want to encourage you, please buy the tickets. Go on ridebuy.com, RYDEBUY.com. And look, if you buy a ticket, send me a message, say, hey, Kem Jones, buy a ticket, I went online there and I buy a ticket. I'm happy to support you. I may not be there or I will be there. You can kind of give me a heads up, or you're going to send somebody. Nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, I look forward to your support. And I really want this to be successful. I really want it to be successful. I'm kind of tired with the home studio setting. I want to move to the next level where I can employ some people, where we can have a frequency or 2, where you can, it could be up it. So we're going to continue on Vibes 101.3 FM and 106.3 FM. We're going to continue there. We're going to continue on Wild 106.3 FM, but we're going to have our own radio station, and we're going to be able to do news. So we're going to have a news team. That is what I'm really looking forward to, having 2 or 3 people working in the newsroom to produce the news, the good news, talking about all the good things that the government is doing, right? The news with a difference, on air, talking and highlighting the good stuff that the government is doing, right? So I intend to do that. That is what I want. I want us to achieve that, and having our DJs, top DJs on, entertaining people, right? And I having that program in the morning and also in the nighttime on the station. So it will be big. So I want you to support this undertaking. Buy a ticket. If you're coming, do so. If you're not coming, buy a couple tickets just to support, right? Go online and buy a couple tickets. Send me a message. Say, hey, Kem boy, just buy a ticket or 2 on ridebuy.com. And, I'm coming, or I'll send somebody else, or I'm just sponsoring. Good? So I really want you to do that. All right? Nice. So I'm looking forward to that. So if you're not able to come, sponsor a ticket or 2. Sponsor something towards the event. There's a gentleman Said to me, Kem, just what you want, right? So, well, I need 2 cases of turkey or 3 cases of turkey. Say, all right, I won't settle that for you. Another person said to me, a good girl, Glenda, for example, I went by her today. She said, Kem Jones boy, I go do X and I go do Y for you. There are people who are doing stuff to help to make sure that the thing is successful. We will need some stuff, to cook the food and so on. So even if you're not buying a ticket, you might be able to help with some money towards getting the items or the food and other things like that. And it will cut down the cost, the expense. And I'll talk about that tomorrow and during the week. You don't have to, maybe you can't afford to buy a ticket, but if you could afford to give something towards it, then it will help, right? Because we have to rent the cocktail tables, rent the tents, rent the coolers. We have to rent a couple things. It's costly. 7 tents, 8 cocktail tables, 2 coolers. We have to transport stuff. We have to get ice. We have to, it's a number of things. And if you're able to give some drinks, maybe you might be able to give a couple drinks, a couple cases of drinks, a couple bottles of drinks. That too I will talk about tomorrow and during the week, right? Because I'll take a greater portion of the program from tomorrow to talk about the event tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Urging you, if you could afford to give a couple cases of drinks or bottles of drinks towards the event, that will help, right? If you're able to give items as it relates to the food, right, to cook and so on, that will help. It'll go a long way, all right? If you're able to help in any other way to make the venue better, that will help. So again, I'll be talking about that as we move along because it's our event, because it's the people's radio station we're trying to get, right? Yes, I'm behind it, but at the end of the day, we need to move to that level, that next level. Can't remain in this setting. It has to be bigger, all right? After all, our government in power. Got to move to the next level, all right? And I don't believe in staying one place, and stagnant. No. Got to move to the next level. All right, good. So, folks, I look forward, and everybody who purchases a ticket and so on, I will know. So there are a lot of people out there saying, "Well, I go support you and I support you and support what?" A lot of these people they just talk, right? They day and they day and they day. Support what? They're not even buying a ticket. They're not even giving up. But they and they the biggest, loudest in the room, so to speak. They're giving people the impression that they're supporting this and supporting what? All right. Yeah. So, yeah, Norman, my good friend Norman here, you purchased a ticket already. Norman, yes, you did that. Thank you very much, Norman. Really appreciate that. Blessings flow. So, again, I want to encourage you, yes, everybody who purchases a ticket on ridebuy.com, I will know. That's RYDEBUY.com. I will know who. And the numbers and the email, everything. I will know that. If you buy a ticket in person, I will know. Because if you buy a ticket by Ricky, he has to take your name. You understand the point? And your information. He has to take that. And if you buy it from me, I would know. So, and if you doing anything towards to help with the initiative, I will know. So a lot of people out there talking as though they, but really and truly, just talk. There's a lot of people, folks, don't fool yourself, who want to see me remain in this little hole, home studio for the rest of my life. A lot of people like that. But we will defy them. We will deny them that wish. What we will be able to do is to have a modern studio with top-of-the-line equipment, top-of-the-line cameras, top-of-the-line mics, top-of-the-line console, top-of-the-line everything. Computers, everything. Polish. Having a nice newsroom with people working. It will be big. It will be the next big thing. Remember, anything I touch must be successful. Must be successful. So I urge you, wherever you are, to support this undertaking. We need this. We need this for the next, between now and the next election. In other words, for the next 3 to 4 years, we need this to be operational. Very important. I don't do things by guess. I do things with a plan, short term, medium term to long term. I don't do things by guess. All right? So go ahead. Go on ridebuy.com and buy a ticket. Use your credit card or your debit card and buy a ticket. Or RIDEBUY.com. ridebuy.com. Buy a ticket. Send me the message. Say, hey, Ken Boy, I just bought a ticket. Or if you're coming to Grenada, you can buy a ticket in person. Buy a ticket from me in person. I have a lot of tickets. All right? If you're coming to Grenada. And if you're in Grenada and you want a ticket, please let me know. For example, 2-3 friends call me today. I have to drop it off for them during the week. One in Diamond, 2 in Batway, 3 in Ladigue, 1 in Paradise. You see? So go around and drop it off. So I want to urge you, please do that. All right? Buy the ticket up. You could buy it from me in person. I will be in St. George's tomorrow by Ricky's Bar. You could go by Ricky even if I'm not there and buy the ticket. All right? Good. So, folks, I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful night. Take good care. I will be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, starting from 8 in the a.m. Tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then again in the evening time, God's willing.